Hi everyone, this is Torcata. I'm back again for the third installment of our Blockfarmers Build It series. We're still working on our 100 by 100 castle, which in the interest of full disclosure has been downgraded to a 100 by 99 castle for the sake of some symmetry. And as you can see behind me, we've got the first level built up, and I want to give you a quick tour of that. And rather than do this video where or you watch me lay down walls, I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera and come back. So let's go ahead and look at our castle, and we'll get into our flying bat mode. And we'll see what we've done here. You can see this was my marker for 100 by 100. We came in one block, so we're 100 by 99, but that's okay. So we're going to get up real tall here. This is the back end of the castle, and kind of show you what's going on. I talked about what things were going to be, and hopefully now you can start to see them flesh out a little bit. In the top left up there, we decided we were going to do a ballroom, and in the top right was going to be our great feast hall, and this was going to be our large throne room. And as we come over on this side, I think we've got some kind of diplomat's chamber or something to that effect, and we'll come over on this side and kind of a waiting area and a hallway, and this will go back to the king's council chamber back here, and then this room kind of a king's private study off of the council chamber. And this will be a small little tiny arboretum. I planted that tree as a reminder that that's what that room was going to be, so that we knew what it was, and it came out pretty well. That is a not a built tree. That is a just a lucky dark oak tree that came up that way and looks pretty good. Another room over here that I have no idea what I'm going to do. So then we came over here and we said this was going to be our great hall and this was our kitchen. So I decided across from the kitchen we would do our servants area over here, and maybe we could put some guards back here as well, like the castle guard barracks are going to be in this long room, and I got a privy back here in the corner, and maybe an armory, and then going down to the dungeon, which is really going to be my kind of large industrial crafting area. So not really very dungeon-like down there. But that's what we've got going on so far. I think it's coming out rather nicely, fleshing out really well. Today, like I said off camera, I'm going to fill in some of these walls and take it up to the level and start getting the vertical shape of the castle working, because like I said, we don't just want to take these walls straight up. We are going to taper off as we go up in levels. I think it's going to, the whole castle will probably keep its shape through the second floor, and then as we go to the third floor we'll start to taper it up. And the last castle I built that was a little bit smaller than this one actually went up, the tower portions went up to 5 stories. So if we're going to keep in the same tradition of height scale ratio, this will could conceivably go higher than 5 stories. I don't know if we're going to do that. We'll play it by ear. When I build to just a note on stories, when I build to scale to the scale of my avatar, I like my stories to be 4 blocks high, with the 5th block being the ceiling. Now you'll notice I've doubled the block levels the whole way around here, and again this is a reminder to myself, because normally I would have in a standard building the ceiling of the first floor would be the floor of the second floor, but we're not going to do that here. We want to be able to change, so we needed a ceiling level and then a floor level. So really each story is going to be 6 blocks high, if you want to look at it from that perspective. So it changes kind of the way I do things, but so I put these things in as reminders as I taking long breaks in between building this. But that's going to be it for right this second. I'm going to head and cut away and do some building, and I will come back later and show you the progress. Okay, and we are back. You can see we've really worked the walls up now. We have basically level 4 going up to the top here, not everywhere, but now we've kind of gotten our walls built up around the outside, and it's coming around well. I really haven't done much with the interior floor plan, so the first floor is more or less complete. The room we didn't know what we were going to do with, we decided to turn into a back stairwell. So we've got that going for us, and that'll be like a servant stairwell over here. We were working on a more grandiose, public stairwell on this side. So we do kind of know what these are going to be going up, but everything else is still pretty open. And the reality, like, this is the top, going to be the top level of the throne room. So this whole expansive area here is simply just an open floor for us to toy with. The only kind of constraints we're going to be dealing with is on this second floor, where we're going to be building around the banquet hall and the ballroom and the throne room. We'll be working around this back edge. That's our constraints for the second floor. There's actually really not a lot of room on the second floor, so the third floor is really where we start to get massively expansive, which is kind of great. So as we built this in, I started to do a little detail work back here. So as you can see, we kind of closed off the arboretum there using the fence line, which I really like as a kind of an exterior, this isn't a secure area kind of thing. This is just kind of a, hey, don't come in here. It looks really good. And we covered the rear exits with these in the background, as you can see. Now like I said, we just added a little stair detail to these pillars, and that, I mean, it really makes them pop, and gives them feel like they're more than just your basic support. But as you can see, like the rest of this, all along here, that's a boring wall, and we're going to fix that as we go forward. And rather than do interior design, which is what I wanted to do today, if you can look at this front wall, you can see where we brought this roof line up and closed it in. So this here is all, that's roof on the outside, and then that way when we get up to this third floor, it's no longer got this design in here. And if you remember looking at the floor design, one of the things, it had a whole lot of shape and texture, but you could see we're going up. Remember that 100-foot wall I wanted to avoid? Well, we found it. So I wanted to make sure that this wasn't going to be absolutely a hideous 100-foot wall. So I wanted to play around with some texture and make sure that it doesn't end up being really, really, really boring. So this looked like the perfect spot to do that. We know we're going to have a lot of texture on this front entrance, because it's going to be different than everything else. It's not going to repeat the patterns of the rest of the castle, because it will be the front entrance. So we wanted to see what we could do here, and I did a play around with it already on the other side. And so to show you what we've done over here, this is how we've done it. So if we come down to ground level and take a look at it, it really takes away that boring feel, that boring look to it. If we come back over here, and we can see, stone brick, and then not so much. So I thought we'd carry it over to the front today. I did tear this up here to beef up the corner, so it's not just a corner. So we had to take some of this out, and that's okay. And it may not stay, but that's fine. It was a really easy fix. So we can go ahead and start building this out and see if we like how this is going to end up, because we really don't know. I don't see. Whoops. So we did actually fortunately bring some fence with us. And I think it looks pretty good. It's bulkier, beefier on the corner there, and gives us a little bit of texture, which I think is the really important part. And of course, I've mistimed this for nighttime, so let's go eliminate that. But I think that came out really well, and it's It's a fairly simple pattern. It's not too complex, and it's not going to require us to have um, any really obnoxious materials to complete it. So I think it's stone. Well, you can see what I'm working with here: stone stairs, stone brick, and chiseled stone brick. Oh, my nether portal went haywire today when I logged in. There was about 7 or 8 zombie pigmen floating around here. And of course that was always meant to be temporary, and the longer it sits there, the less temporary it is. Now, one of the problems of waiting till the very end to do your design work is that sometimes things like we've got this roof and your design work can interfere with the roof. Now it matched up really nicely right here, and just because the space was pretty symmetrical up here, we kind of just cut this top pattern a little bit short, and I think it worked out really well. So we're just going to work this around. Oh, you know what I should have grabbed was some dirt for this, as we ultimately would like to fill that in underneath. I debated briefly letting the landscape stay, but we'll terraform for decoration at a later date rather than trying to worry about it here. So as we're doing this, the question becomes, how do we make these transitions go? Do we have them just come up to this point and stop, or do we take this pattern around the wall? I think we'll experiment with it both ways and see how it looks. When we took it around the wall at the bottom here, and that's just a design feature I tend to like, is this around the whole bottom is that stair, stone brick stair. Definitely gives it the feel that I like, and I really equate that kind of to the rook piece of the chess set. That just kind of feels like, if you could see it right there, that taper here and here. So there it is going around the edge. Now, do we need to fill it in here, or would that be too much? I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot and see what we're dealing with. So it's 8 to the corner, so far so good. And finish the bottom here. I think I like that. I think that's probably going to end up staying. Okay, I don't think that's too busy at all right there. That actually looks pretty good. Now, I debated wrapping this around over top of this, but I don't think I'm going to, and that's because if I do, I'm going to go over top of my chiseled stone brick in pretty much, well, those would stay in the middle, and I suppose maybe if I dropped those down, they would stay. Right? What do you guys think? You want to give it a shot? Let's try it. if we don't like it, it can always come out. Right? It gives it a very beefy look. You know, if you like that, I mean, it works, but it is really kind of hefty. Right? And you know something, I kind of dig it. I didn't think I was gonna. I thought it was gonna be too much, but it actually looks pretty cool. Um, but for the sake of symmetry, let's. And I'm gonna get you back while I'm in here. Yeah, I didn't know that I was gonna like it, but that's actually, I think that looks just about right. I mean, that's the appropriate level of heft there. Um, Let me know what you think. The chiseled stone brick may be a little overpowering. Not sure. Uh, your thoughts and opinions are very welcome on that matter. Um, as a matter of fact, for anything that we do here. So um, I really kind of dig it. So that means we've got to kind of change this side over too, and essentially fix this. And then take this out. Oh, and around. Oops. Be nice if we could get into position. Sometimes flying is a little too fast. Okay. So that's kind of cool. Alright, so it's really coming together, especially if you kind of come away from it. You can really see how that detail is now finally starting to work itself into the castle. And even though it's stone brick, just the shading of the stone brick, you can now see that there's something to it even at a distance, which is, excuse me, really what we're going for is you know, something with heft and some weight to it. So that's great. I really um, really liked the way this column came out following the pattern around. That was like a 50-50 shot. And I'm gonna go ahead and toot my own horn and say that I did that well. So go ahead and mirror this on the other side, right? And we just came out in the middle. Right? Right, that's, oops. Uh-oh. So we're gonna have to learn how to count here. Let's go back over here and take a look where we put that center. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was 5 in the corner. Let's make sure we got that right. Yep, perfect. And then this one was dead center. Right? Did I do that wrong already? Let's have a look. Tell you. Nope. Okay, good. I may not have brought enough materials to keep this party going, but that's okay. You're getting the idea of what I had planned to do, and so it's coming out there. Alright. Good, good. So, and then that is 4 more blocks on top of you, and some more stairs. Oops. Excuse me. So, again, as we move this forward, like we have some design decisions to make. So, to break this wall up, the question becomes, how do we do it? Now, we've added the detail, but we still haven't broken this top line wall. And I was thinking one of two things. We can either do a very long roof from here to here and then bring this back in, or we can make a second terrace here and start bringing the roof back just in these sections. Again, tough call to make. I don't like a big long roof might be too much. I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna try the long roof first because the second terrace just doesn't make any sense in my mind from a design perspective. So we're probably going to try that before we do anything else. And let's go ahead and go back and get some sleep and finish just this section off, and maybe start on that front section just a little bit, kind of get a feel of what we're going to do with it next time, give us something to think about while we're away. You know, when you're building 100 by 100, it probably shouldn't help if I put some closer beds or something. You wouldn't have to worry about it so much. Right, here we go. I wish I could kill something more fun to fly as. You know, the bat's helpful, but and extremely helpful in building because he's a 1 by 1 block little critter, but you can see he only comes with 3 hearts. So it gets a little dangerous sometimes, but I have a blaze which has definitely a lot more health, but it also has all the smoke coming up from under it. Half the time I can't see, and I'm sure there's a way to turn that off. I just haven't figured it out yet. Alright, so the second row up here is indented. My apologies, folks. One of these days I'm going to get over this cold. You're not going to have to listen to me clear my throat quite so much. Oh boy. Let's put that up there as a guideline. And wow, we are running low on materials. That's unfortunate. I think pretty much everything that's left is stairs, so we'll work with these stairs and see how far we get, and we may have to come back at a later time to start working on the front there. And this is just one little bit here. The question remains: do we want to take this all the way around, or do we want to do something different? Especially like in these diagonal parts, we may want to take that pattern and put it right, smack it right on the front here, or maybe even blow it up since it's a larger single section instead of doing these 4 by 4. Make it like a 9 by 9 or a 2 by 2 by 3 even. I mean, well, not a 9 by 9, but you know what I mean. 3 by 3 or 2 by 3. You know, stretch it out across the front there. All stuff to consider as we take this around. It doesn't have to be constant repeating pattern, and in fact, if it's not, it might give it a little bit more character without it. Okay, so we're out of building blocks here today, and I didn't prepare for that, and I apologize. The problem with working in survival mode, but as you can see, it's starting to work out, and what I will do is finish off um, this pattern here, and the next time we come back, we'll work on the front here, and we'll uh, get this landscaped and or at least terraformed, and then maybe we can work on some landscaping too, and then we can decide how we want to handle the front here. And once we get done with that, hopefully we'll have some more of the inside done, and maybe we can start doing some interior stuff. Not sure where we want to begin with. It could be floors and ceilings, it could be walls. I really do have an idea for these hallways and some ceiling work going on there, so that may be the very first thing we do when we come back. But we shall see. And as we fly home, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. I don't know if I included it in my other wheel, but I've been playing with immersive engineering. So we now have a advanced windmill and a water wheel. They're not great power producers. The solar is still better, but they're fun to look at, so I do enjoy having them there. Okay, folks, well, it has been fun. This has been Torcata, and if you like what you saw, go ahead and smash that like button for me, and please feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching.